What's going on, guys? It's Drama. Welcome back to another episode of NBA Kicks, the show where we count down the top 10 best sneakers in the NBA every single week of the season. Today's episode, we have a brand new signature sneaker debut that I honestly might have missed a few weeks ago because I didn't really realize that they were a signature sneaker, but this week I got them on the show. And also, we have a lot of crazy NBA topics to talk about. The guys featured on this week's episode, they're all involved in trades, rumors, all these kinds of things. So I can't wait to get your guys' opinion on them, as well as your opinion on this week's 10 sneakers. So let's get straight to the list. I'll catch you guys on the other side. Starting off the list at number 10, we have Andrew Wiggins with the Peak Tai Chi. So look, these aren't the craziest sneakers in the world or even on this list, and I'll be the first one to admit that. And yes, Andrew Wiggins as an all-star starter is a low-key joke, but you gotta be happy for the guy. I mean, he's been in the league 8 years now, and despite all the ups and downs in his career, he is having his best year yet. So I decided to throw him a little bit of love because honestly, he's been taking a beating. This silhouette is called the Peak Tai Chi Basketball, and it features that classic Peak visual DNA with a huge Peak logo on the toe box sitting on top of a shroud, while the rest of the silhouette features a modern design with a couple of gradients and different textures in a simple yet clean Warriors home color scheme. The back of the heel features a personalized tag with Wiggins' name and number, but overall, this is just a simple sneaker that's a kind of nod to how player exclusives used to be, but I really want to take this opportunity to talk about that all-star spot. I personally had Cat in that 5th spot because he's having a great year on a finally solid team, so I wanted to reward him for that. But let me know who you guys would have had over Wiggins in that all-star spot. And don't say Devin Booker because it has to be a forward, because Ja and Curry are hands down the 2 best guards in the West, and you really can't convince me otherwise. Next up at number 9, we have James Harden with a new colorway of the Harden Volume 6s. Now obviously with that primary base red, yellow, and blue color scheme, you could go in a lot of different directions with these, but since I am half Filipino, I'm going to unofficially name these the Pinoy Boys Harden 6s. I mean, seriously, the only thing that's missing on these is the sun from the Filipino flag. Everything else is there, but aside from the obvious inspiration, these are just bright, vibrant, and definitely stand out on the court, which is exactly why they caught my attention. But seriously, can I get a PH in the comments? Next up at number 8, we have Russell Westbrook with a new colorway of the Why Not 0.5s. In yet another crazy NBA storyline, Russell Westbrook's time with the Los Angeles Lakers has been less than successful, which actually has to be pretty hard on Russ, right? I mean, he's from LA and now he's getting booed in his hometown for his hometown team. I mean, I kind of feel bad for the guy, but despite his lack of Encore performance, Russ is still coming correct with his Encore kicks. This latest colorway of Westbrook's 5th signature model uses a very vibrant color scheme with a lot of warm colors that all fade very nicely into each other, but you also got some great hits of light blue on the laces and heel tab, which complement that warm color palette very nicely. But look, as a Laker fan, I am really disappointed and extremely frustrated with how this season's playing out. And if I had to give these guys just one piece of advice, I mean, just play harder. Effort goes a long way. I mean, look at Austin Reeves. He looks like the only guy out there that cares, am I right? Next up at number 7, we got Malik Monk with a throwback colorway of the Kobe 5s. Now, when Nike did their Pro Tour run with the Kobe 5, they didn't re-release this colorway, which I think was a huge mistake. But this colorway, it actually doesn't look exactly like the one that I remember. The original Kobe 5 inks had black laces, a black midsole, as well as a translucent purple outsole, but the pair that Malik Monk is rocking here has a solid purple outsole and midsole, as well as a white swoosh as opposed to a silver one, which has me wondering what exactly these are. Are these a sample Proto colorway that Nike didn't end up releasing, or are these an OG sample that are a gem from the past? I really don't know, but what I do know is that these are a great colorway that should have been re-released multiple times, but of course, the world just doesn't work that way. Coming in at number 6, we have Hamadu Dialu with a new Anta silhouette. All right, so here we have another obscure overseas silhouette that yours truly can't find any information on. Using a clean design with very sharp angles as well as a sculpted midsole, this silhouette reminds me a lot of Anta's NASA collection, especially with that 4-foot strap which is integrated with the midsole. But overall, this is just a very playful silhouette with that graphic on the upper as well as a very vibrant color palette. Next up at number 5, we have Bam Adebayo with a new colorway of the Air Jordan 36 Lows. Jordan Brand hooks Bam Bam up with this incredible new colorway, which features neutral tones alongside hits of purple and pink, which not only fit right in with the whole Miami Vice theme, but just looks absolutely sick with that sand color upper that make the materials look like corduroy, which make for a super unique look. This might just be the best 36 low colorway that we've seen so far. It's just a shame that the 36s aren't as popular as Jordan Brand would like them to be, because I actually think it's a very unique looking silhouette that has dropped in a lot of great colorways, but I guess it really helps when the signature player that the signature sneaker is made for is actually active and playing, even if you are the GOAT. Next up at number 4, we have Trey Lyles with a super crazy colorway of the Kobe 6s. So I almost didn't believe my very own eyes when I saw these, because this is just such an obscure sneaker that I guess I just thought they couldn't be real. Now obviously these are a blacked out pair of Kobe 6s, but the inner lining is a sweet baby blue. However, the heel cup has the initials JR on it, which aren't Trey Lyles' initials, but when combined with that baby blue liner, it had me thinking that these are an old J.R. Smith Nike ID, but that would be super random. Like, why would Trey Lyles have a J.R. Smith Nike ID from like 2011? Well, according to the GOAT sneaker reporter Nick DePaula, these are indeed an old J.R. Smith Kobe 6 Nike ID, which absolutely came out of left field, because I really just don't know why these aren't in the possession of J.R. Smith himself. Like, do you think JR saw Trey rocking these and it's like, how the hell did he get those? Or maybe JR gifted them to Trey, but that wouldn't make sense because it has JR's initials on them. And plus the Kobe 6s are kind of like a coveted sneaker, so why would he just give them away? What I'm thinking happened is that Trey found these in the Nuggets locker room and they just happened to be his size and he just was like helping himself to the sneaker. But wouldn't that have happened to another player, because it's a lot of time in between? I don't know. This is just such a crazy pull, but either way, sick pickup. Next up at number 3, we have CJ McCollum with the Li Ning CJ1. Now in our final piece of crazy NBA news, CJ McCollum is officially a Pelican, which just sounds weird, but it also means no more Rose City player exclusives for CJ, but that's okay because Li Ning hooks him up here with an awesome Year of the Tiger colorway. Using an artistic interpretation of a tiger on the upper, this colorway features a mean tiger logo on the back of the heel, alongside some red speckles and a splash of blue on CJ's logo on the midsole. It's always fun to see the year of colorways, especially from the China-based brands, and this colorway of the CJ ones are no different. But honestly, guys, let me know what you guys think about that trade. Is CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, and Zion Williamson enough to get New Orleans to the playoffs? Do you think that Zion is going to leave New Orleans? it's been a crazy week in terms of NBA news. So make sure you drop your 2 cents in the comment section below. Coming in as our runner-up, we have Rui Hachimura with the Air Jordan 36. Jordan Brand finally unveils their Black History Month 36s, and this year, the BHMs are looking nice. Using that classic black and cold color scheme that we have seen before on the annual BHM collection, this year Jordan Brand ramps things up by bringing back elephant print on the collar, which is just subtle enough to not be obtrusive, but adds another layer of depth, and overall just looks clean AF. I'm also digging that slight iridescent gold trim on the midsole, as well as that gold translucent outsole. These might not be the craziest BHM sneakers that we've seen before, but they sure are clean. And of course, you got that BHM tag on the lace shroud. So overall, this is just a more than solid outing by Jordan Brand. And if you haven't copped a pair of 36s already, these might just be the ones you need to add to your collection. Finally, at number 1, we have DAngelo Russell with the debut of the Way of Wade D-Lo Ice. So here we have DAngelo Russell's first signature sneaker with Way of Wade, which is under the Li-Ning umbrella. And they're called the D-Lo Ice because, you know, he's got ice in his veins. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I first saw these, the recently unveiled Nike PG6 are what first came to mind. To me, both of these silhouettes have a very similar shape, but the D-Los feature a midfoot strap style system, as well as some extra lockdown with extended eyelets in the forefoot. This particular colorway uses a graphic on the upper, which does offer a unique look, as well as the yin yang logo on the tongue for some added character. But what caught my eye with this colorway is the Lakers purple and yellow color scheme. As a Laker fan, DAngelo Russell was never my favorite, so I thought it was funny that his first signature sneaker has a color scheme from a former team. But all that aside, I'm actually stoked for D-Lo on getting his own sneaker because to me, that's the pinnacle of the sneaker world. And that's why the D-Lo Ice is officially the best sneaker worn during week 10 of the 2021-22 NBA season. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this week's list. There were some pretty solid sneakers, but I'm more interested to hear what you guys have to say about all of these crazy NBA storylines. I mean, I feel like this week has been so crazy that I don't even know what to think. So let's get into a conversation in the comment section below. And while you guys are there, make sure you give this video a thumbs up because it helps me out a lot. And if you're not already, subscribe to the channel for more sneaker related content just like this. My name is Jaren. It's been great having you. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.